This is The Gist, the essential podcast for the discerning listener.
Welcome to The Gist. I'm John.
And I'm Mary. Today is Sunday, August 9th, 2026. We are your smart friends on the go, making sense of a very fast-moving world.
Let's start with the gist view. Today, we are looking at Turkey. The Turkish presidency just assumed sweeping direct powers over internet services, gaming platforms, and social media.
Ankara passed a new cybersecurity law. The official excuse is defence against state-backed hackers, but the reality is far more domestic. By labelling this a national security issue, the government can bypass the courts. They can force tech platforms into absolute obedience.
Let's look at who benefits. The ruling government already controls roughly 90% of Turkey's national media. It's a closed loop of information.
The remaining 10% of independent media lives on foreign platforms, places like X and Meta's Instagram. This new law directly targets those foreign platforms. It forces them to act as instruments of political censorship.
It's like owning all the newspapers in town and then passing a law that lets you seize the only independent printing press. You control the resource flow. Here, the resource is information.
Exactly. And this isn't entirely new. The government has historically throttled access to X, YouTube and WhatsApp during civil unrest. This new legislation just makes that blunt tactic totally legal.
All right, let's pivot to the global overview. Big news in finance. Blockbuster second quarter results from United States companies just pushed stocks to record highs.
This is a huge relief for the markets. Lately, investors have been sweating over artificial intelligence capital expenditure. That is the massive amount of money companies spend on physical assets like data centers and computer chips.
These earnings prove that core corporate cash flows can actually sustain those giant artificial intelligence investments. Even though hiring has slowed down, corporate balance sheets remain highly resilient.
Moving to geopolitics, on Saturday, the United States accused China of using a dubious environmental excuse to claim territory in the South China Sea.
China is setting up a nature reserve at Scarborough Shoal. It sounds eco-friendly, but look at the incentives. It deliberately bans Filipino fishermen from accessing the waters.
This is a classic grey zone tactic. A grey zone tactic is an aggressive move that achieves a goal but stays just below the threshold of formal war. China gets to restrict access to resources without triggering United States-Philippines military defence treaties.
Speaking of shifting tides, let's look at United States demographics. Wealth patterns are changing, driven by a massive college gender gap.
Right now, there are 1.6 million more women than men in United States colleges. Because of this, college-educated women are increasingly marrying men without degrees.
This creates a major squeeze. It sharply reduces the pool of economically stable partners for women without college degrees. It is a massive shift in how household wealth is built and shared.
Let's bring things closer to home with the European perspective. That grey zone tactic we mentioned earlier, we are seeing it in Germany too.
Overnight, German security recorded at least 6 unauthorized drone flights near a military logistics base in Mechanich.
This base is entirely underground, and it is vital. It is reportedly the only site in Europe dedicated to fixing United States-made Patriot systems. Those are highly advanced surface-to-air missile defense networks.
Just days earlier, an explosives-laden drone was found near a Ukrainian cargo plane at the Leipzig airport. This points to a clear shift in Russian hybrid warfare.
They are moving toward direct disruption of European logistics. Who benefits? Russia. By harassing deep storage and repair yards, they force European militaries to spend resources guarding domestic bases. That leaves less money and manpower for forward deployments.
But it is a tricky situation. Treating isolated drone flights as state-sponsored sabotage risks escalating into a military conflict without hard proof.
Down in the Black Sea, the attacks are much less subtle. Turkey's foreign minister is calling for a pause on attacks there. Strikes are no longer just hitting military targets, they are hitting all commercial shipping.
Over the weekend, Russia struck military warehouses in Odessa. They also hit a commercial cargo vessel carrying equipment in Mykolaiv. The risk to regional trade is skyrocketing.
Let's pivot to some surprising social data. There is a fertility paradox happening in the Balkans.
Most post-Soviet economies have seen demographic collapses, but from 2015 to 2026, fertility rates in the Balkans have steadily increased.
Today, the highest total fertility rates in Europe are all in the Balkans. That rate is simply the average number of children born to a woman. Montenegro leads at 1.8. Bulgaria and Moldova are right behind at 1.73. They are defying the continental trend.
Finally, a quick look at the German economy. A new study by the IFO Institute, a major economic research group in Munich, shows the heavy cost of supply chain hiccups. Unexpected material shortages are causing short-term drops in German industrial production by 2.4%. The auto sector is taking the biggest hit on output. Meanwhile, the wood and pharmaceutical industries are seeing massive long-term price spikes. Time to take the temperature of the day. Across the board, state power is getting highly creative, whether it is using cyber laws to silence the internet, creating fake nature reserves to steal fishing waters, or using deniable drones to tie up military resources. Governments are securing power without firing a formal shot. Meanwhile, the artificial intelligence economy is proving its financial muscle, and shifting demographics are quietly rewriting social rules from United States campuses to Balkan nurseries.
That is the gist for today. If you enjoyed our breakdown and want to keep that edge every morning, join our community. You can subscribe to the Gist's daily newsletter for free. Just tap the link in the show notes. We'd love to have you with us.
Thanks for listening. We will catch you tomorrow.
The Gist, News Digest, and podcast are entirely written and produced by artificial intelligence. The Gist is out 3 times a day, every day, providing you with a liberal perspective on what to expect next. For more information and donations, visit thegist.online. Thank you for listening.